And welcome back to a long anticipated episode of All Rell and Good with my great friend, the former high wire act for the Michigan Wolverines from 1982 to 86, number 40 out of Riviera Beach, Florida, Richard Rellford. How you
Well,
doing, Rich?
Tom, it's good to be back, but even better, it's good to have you back.
Yeah.
And I wanted to start off by saying you got a lot of people out there that love you, man, and we're just glad that you're back on your feet. And whatever you have to battle, we're gonna battle with you.
Well, I felt that battling reinforcement coming in these last few weeks, as I mentioned, I had a couple bad nights in the hospital, a lot of pain and wide awake kind of moments. And I just went to my phone. I see messages from you and other former Wolverines and all my friends, our Spartan friends. And man, it just got me through it.
And
It
that's what it
caused you to
takes.
pause. It caused
Yeah.
you to pause, and God is good and all that stuff. And it gets you to feel the larger picture. All of a sudden, those turnovers the Michigan basketball team had didn't matter so much, right?
Turnovers ain't so bad after that, Tom. That's for
Yeah,
sure, man. Well,
yeah.
but like I said, we're still praying for you, man, and all our prayer warriors are still out there.
All right, Rich. Well, let's get into what happened in this past week. A
Mhm.
couple things. It was like today's Tuesday, so like 9 days ago or whatever. After the Michigan State game up at Breslin, I was really kind of downtrodden because I thought, my God, this season's ending in a spiral. But Dusty got his team together, and the two practices, the main ones on Tuesday and Wednesday, were like sensational, where he kind of just let him play. And it reminded me of what you've always told me about Phil Frieder, how he just lets you guys play and not worry about making mistakes and just thinking positive. I mean, I'm sure you could relate to what happened with that Michigan team.
I'm gonna tell you, watching the game, the state loss I really didn't care about because I know in the tournament I wanted to face them. Well, we didn't face them because they lost to Wisconsin,
Uh-huh.
but I noticed that Dusty let them play. I remember a play in the championship game, and we had a turnover.
Yeah,
Dusty didn't get mad at all. He
yeah,
just told them, keep playing, keep playing.
yeah.
And that's what you need. I just felt like Wolf and Golden carried us, but Donaldson was the key.
Oh, he has been unbelievable. I mean, you go back to that Maryland game. I mean, they hit the two free throws. I mean, Ruben gets that foul. Like, oh
Yeah,
my God. And he's got 94 feet. I don't know, 5 seconds, whatever it is. I mean, most people can't run that fast.
no.
I mean, that was like Ricky Green.
Yes, it was like, it reminded me of Ricky Green
Ricky Green.
because we had no timeouts.
No
I didn't
time.
know that.
Yeah.
And the play that he ran by getting it to Golden and then giving it to Donaldson and letting him go was one of the greatest plays ran.
I mean, I couldn't believe it, and he was just blazing by. Maryland broke the cardinal rule, which you got to stop the ball, right?
Right, right. They didn't stop the ball. They let us go. I was
Yeah,
surprised.
I couldn't believe that Matador defense, but that was good. And then I knew that I thought Michigan had a good chance if they got to Sunday because Wisconsin was playing their fourth, and John Tanje's legs went out.
We're gone.
They were gone. You could tell. I mean, that guy, he was transferred from Colorado State. I mean, that guy's amazing
Yeah, he
player.
was tough. He was tough. But my friend's son was better.
Okay.
My friend's son was Blackwell.
Oh, from Detroit area. Yes.
Right. But his dad was the starting point guard at Illinois when he played.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, Blackwell. Yeah. He played up. His father played at Illinois,
Oh,
and
okay.
I remember him there. He wasn't there when we were there, but
Yeah.
I remember watching him, and I remember Bruce Douglas telling me about him.
Bruce Douglas.
And because Bruce was one of my guys on my McDonald's All-American team, and I also this past couple of weeks we lost to one of my good friends who was a McDonald's All-American, Ephraim Winters.
Ephraim Winters, he was a great player.
Great player. He passed
I
away.
didn't know that. There's not too much of that going on lately.
Yeah. And nobody knows what happened. I talked to Bruce's wife, Madge, and nobody knows.
Wow, that's too bad. I know you Big Ten players all respect each other so much.
Yes.
And Illinois has had some great players over the years.
They really did. Everyone was tough.
But back to Michigan, I thought what happened over those 3 days, beginning with Purdue, is the defense started showing up, and there was so much contention on every possession.
Yes,
and walled up. And I know one of your guys is Will Cheddar. You scream Will Cheddar. And
I love Cheddar.
He got screwed by some calls.
Yes, he did. He did in the championship game. He did.
Yeah, but he brings some energy. And what did you think when? And this was not by choice, but they had Will and Vlad and Danny on the floor at the same time. That's a heck of a lineup.
Right, and I loved it. And you know who else, Tom? I got to say this because I want to give him credit. The kid from Lakeland, Florida.
LJ Kaysen.
If he doesn't hit those 2 threes, Tom, we have a problem.
That the script totally got flipped because we were running out of energy.
Yes, and he had fresh legs.
He had fresh legs. Now, people think I'm crazy when I say this, but I think he's got a little Karis LeVert in him.
Oh,
because he's got so much. Karis, when he was a freshman, was fearless.
Yes,
and fearless of trying to make plays, trying to go downhill without hesitation. And this kid is a duplication of that.
He is. I can't wait to meet him because he is from Florida.
Yeah.
And I just thought that his legs Coach used him at the right time.
Yeah.
And by using him at the right time, you do that. I always think about it in my rookie season in the NBA when the guys used to tell me, young legs, because, you're dunking in the warm-ups. You're just having a great time. And that's what Kaysen had. He had young legs, and, he can shoot. And so we look good, man. We look good.
We look good. And regardless what happens in the tournament, we're going to talk about that in a second. Mm-hmm. But this season was a really, really good season. I know you were down there in the Bayer Box with us a couple of games, and we had so much fun. The Purdue game was the last game that I attended before my surgery. And
right.
It was you and Kayla were there, and that was a big win. That was a damn big win.
Listen, it was gigantic, and I knew we played them in the Big Ten tournament. I wasn't worried.
Yeah.
I wasn't worried because we controlled it.
Yeah.
We controlled the game. And you know what else I can say on the podcast today? Coach has not run in the whole Big Ten tournament the pick and roll with Golden and Wolf.
No.
He didn't run it. So I'm hoping that he's saving it for the tournament.
Yeah. Well, and this, you always worry about the tournament. And you had 2 outstanding Big Ten championship teams.
Mm-hmm.
And you're going in the tournament and you're playing these underdogs who have nothing to lose. Remember Fairleigh Dickinson?
Oh, I remember them all. Because when you have nothing to lose, you play freely.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then, I felt also that Wisconsin got tight.
Yeah.
In the championship game. They got tight.
They did.
And we guys kept looking at our guys. And like I tell you, Will Cheddar is Kurt Rambis of the Wolverines.
I love that comparison.
Because Will Cheddar gives us energy.
Yeah.
And so this is what's going to take us through the tournament. Because he's going to play well in the tournament.
Yeah. So, but I remember those first round games. Your junior year, you had Fairleigh Dickinson, and you struggled, and you won down in Dayton.
Yep.
And then Akron. Remember Akron?
Yes.
Your senior year. That was a struggle too.
That was a struggle.
So I want to ask you this question, because you were the number 1 seed in your junior year, maybe number 2. I don't know what it was your senior year.
2 my senior year. Number 2 my senior year.
Okay. 1 and 2. Okay. Did you feel the pressure in that game, or how did those 2 games go that way?
Well, to be honest, the tournament, we never felt pressure because it's, for us, it's another basketball game.
Okay.
The tournament is just, you win, you keep going, you lose, you go home.
Yeah.
That's how Coach Frieda put it to us.
Yeah.
And so we never really thought about them being underdogs. The toughest team I thought we played was Villanova.
Well, yeah. And then
they ended up winning it all.
Yeah.
Right. They ended up winning it all. And I just felt like that's what's going to happen again. The teams that they picked, this 1 and 2 seeds, that means nothing. Yeah. When those games are played, even schools like Drake can win.
Yeah.
Creighton, These teams can't. They're not in the tournament because they're not good. They're in the
Right.
tournament because they're pretty damn good. So we're
Yeah.
gonna be ready. I think we'll be ready.
Yeah, I do too. So they play at 10 o'clock,
Oh,
and I
yeah, we got
know,
a late game.
yeah, in Denver, and I know you were upset by this and mystified by it.
Mhm.
We all were. But why do we play this Big Ten tournament? Why do we play it when you win 3 games and you don't go off the 5 line one bit, and you give Wisconsin a 3 seed and Purdue a 4 seed, and Michigan sitting there at 5 seed? It's almost like just Michigan versus everybody. I don't know. They taking it out on Jim Harbaugh. I don't know what I'm really beginning to wonder about this venomous feeling towards Michigan.
Tom, I think it all started with Harbaugh. They all hate Jimmy, and it's just something about our school that people don't like because not only are we smart and educated, but we got good athletes. And
I love it.
my thing is they can hate all they want to. Like you say, it's Michigan against everyone. And
Yeah.
you keep hating us, and we're gonna keep winning.
Yeah. Now this UC San Diego team
Mhm.
turns. They're number 2 in the nation of turning teams over. Okay,
Right. I saw
so
that.
that's scary.
Yeah.
But they don't. They do it without pressing.
Yes.
I mean, when you watch them, they don't press. I mean, I haven't seen hardly any of them, but a little bit of clips.
Mm.
So I mean, Michigan has to worry about Michigan.
Right.
Dusty said, if we don't turn the ball over, we might score on every possession.
Really? That's what I believe. Remember, we talked about this before.
Mhm.
Our biggest problem is turnovers.
Mhm.
When we have 5 and 6 turnovers, no one can beat us.
Uh-huh.
No one.
Yeah.
And if we can control the ball, and that's why I feel like Donaldson should have it more. Wolf,
Right.
I like it when you have it, but I prefer Donaldson to have it because he's the quarterback. He's the leader. And that's
Yeah.
the one we need with it.
Yeah, you said that. You said 2 things. You obviously eyeballed the turnovers, but you've also pinpointed free throws
Yes.
in all these games. And Michigan has left. Let's go back to the Maryland game.
Yes.
A missed free throw opened the door for Maryland, and actually Danny missed a few. The Wisconsin game was left open with missed free throws. I mean, you got to deliver, and you got to get the ball. And Danny got that ball, and he's on the line. Trace is on the line. So strategically on inbounds plays, you can't have Danny get the ball.
Right.
You get the foul.
Yes. I agree. I feel they should spend at least a half an hour a day on free throws. Half an hour. Everybody say, "Oh no, it's a long time." No, it's not. Not when you're missing them.
Yeah.
We used to sit in there for half an hour. Even when coach was gone, we still would shoot free throws.
Yeah.
That's how it has to be. Because I tell my son, they're free throws. They're free. There's no pressure.
Oh, I love that, what you're saying. Hey, I got a question. Have you ever played in Denver as an athlete or in the high altitude?
I got to tell you, when we went to the pre-Olympic trials in '84, we had to play in Denver. And when I tell you, Tom, that altitude is no joke, man, because we were tired in 2 minutes.
Well, how do you prepare for that? I mean,
you got to get there early. You got to get there a couple of days early because you got to get adjusted. Because if you don't get adjusted, it's going to kill you. It's going to beat you down. That's why I tell people that if you go up there and practice, say we go play Denver, if we had another game on Monday in Ann Arbor, we would beat the team by 40.
Yeah.
Because we would have so much energy from that. Because that used to freak me out that you have so much energy when you come back. But when you play there, you're exhausted.
Well, I mean, UC San Diego, they're not from that altitude.
Right.
So
they're going to get the same problem.
They have the same problem. So Michigan's depth is going to be, and their depth, they're a little bit deeper. I mean, they don't have, Pippen, I don't understand what his situation is. I don't know if he's hurt or what.
I think it's all because he's a freshman.
Yeah. So, I mean, in the NCAA tournament, the bench it's like high school tournaments. The bench just shrinks.
Oh, yeah. If you were playing 9, you're going to play 7.
Yeah. It really is amazing how that works.
Yeah.
But
because you don't have the time. You got to have some kind of chemistry. And you got to keep the chemistry going in the tournament.
I think if Michigan takes care of the basketball, they'll it's I'm not trying to oversimplify it, Rich, but if they go single digit turnovers, Jesus, this team could get to Atlanta for the Sweet 16.
Well, just to let you know, Tom, in my bracket, I picked us going to the Final Four, baby. I'm to be honest with you. I got us.
No,
Somebody said to me,
no,
said you're a little biased. Yeah, I am. And
yeah,
I see how good our team is. And
yeah.
I feel we can get to the Final Four. We get to the Final Four, sky's the limit after that.
When you watch Dusty coach, and people are used to, like guys, like Danny Hurley or Tom Izzo, grind in the
Right.
face and everything. And with Dusty, he's pretty laid back and he doesn't get any people's grill. That doesn't mean he's not tough in practice, though, right?
I
Or
guarantee you, he's tougher in practice than you see him on TV.
yeah,
Because on TV, he has a nice, calm demeanor. He's
yeah,
real calm, like Pat Riley.
yeah.
In practice, oh my goodness.
What was the best style for you to play as a coach?
Well, I feel like calmness and letting the guys play.
Yeah,
You recruited them for their talent.
yeah,
You let them go out and play. I don't like coaches that feel like they need to scream and yell. Well,
yeah,
you're distracting me because now whatever I'm focused on, I lost focus because you're screaming and hollering, and I'm thinking you're embarrassing me in front of everybody.
yeah.
Well, I don't want that. My thing is, my son just asked me this too about Izzo.
Yeah.
You know why people like Izzo? Because he let
Right.
his players talk to him the way he talked to them.
Well, that's a really good point. That and Trey Donaldson's an example of that. They're going at it. Martin Cleaves and him were going at it. Alan Anderson and him would go at it.
Yep. Yep.
I understand that, and it's a bar fight out there verbally. But Izzo's a great coach. I'm not denying that. And but my God, they got an easy draw going to Cleveland.
Oh,
My God,
they got an easy draw.
But that's what Big Ten regular season champions get. And now, if Michigan State both get to Atlanta, and I think they will, wouldn't that be something if they meet up on the Elite Eight?
It will be amazing because I would rather beat them in the Elite Eight than anywhere else.
Yeah.
Because that's one and done. See, in the regular season, we play you twice.
Yeah.
But in the NCAA, this one and done, baby. Then somebody's going home.
Yeah. Back to that Michigan State game, I know they were down like 50-28 at halftime, and I could barely look at the screen, okay? They played they did something different at halftime, and they played a lot better. And I actually think this thing flipped at halftime of the Michigan State game that laid the groundwork for the week of practice.
Yes.
In these last 3 games.
Yes. I think, to be honest, Michigan State stuff helped us. Because,
it sure did.
Because we got focused.
Yeah.
We got focused. And my thing is, I'm be honest, Tom, I would love to play them in the tournament because I think that we would send them home because our guys now, for some reason, and we talk about this all the time, they don't get rattled. Yeah. They don't rattle. They're the same calm demeanor from the beginning of the game to the end of the game.
I'm always bullish on multi-sport athletes, which you were.
Yes.
At Suncoast High, you were an outstanding football player.
Mm-hmm.
Trey Donaldson is from Tallahassee. He played for Charlie Ward, and he was a great football player. He was
quarterback.
And a safety. He was a 4-star as a safety. He could have gone anywhere.
Yes.
But isn't that something to be said of having an athlete who's got moxie, physicality, and just fearless? Because he's been under the lights, under the scrutiny in these big time games.
Listen, I think being a 2-sport athlete, it makes you numb to a lot of things.
Yeah.
You don't hear outside noise ever.
Yeah.
And being hit the way he was getting hit as a quarterback in football, basketball is a breeze. Trust me, it's a breeze. Everybody told me when I came to the Big Ten, oh, it's physical. Please, man, I played football in Florida. They ain't got nothing to do with being physical. Yeah. We're okay. So I look forward to this tournament, Tom.
Yeah, well, I don't even know how you handled the 2-a-days in high school football in Florida in August and not just freaking die.
Listen, they were brutal. they were brutal. But try this though. We had 2 days when we had basketball practice. So I would leave I would leave football practice and go do basketball.
Oh my God.
But
No
we loved
wonder
it,
you're
man.
no wonder you're so svelte and young looking, because you laid all that foundation.
Yes, we did, man. I appreciate
Well,
it.
I'll tell you, Rich, it's been great to be back. We're going to be back next week. We're going to be back
Yes.
from now on. I'm back in the saddle with my man, Richard Rellford, and that feels so good. And I love this team. I love you, my brother. And we'll see how it goes Thursday night. And hopefully, you know, we can move on and have Michigan have a decent run here in the NCAA tournament.
Listen, man, like I said, I'm glad you're back, my brother. I'm glad we're back on the air doing these podcasts, and I ain't got nothing but love for you, man. And we're gonna keep doing it.
All right, Rich. Love you too, man. Okay. Talk
Later.
soon. Go Blue. Hail, hail.